I'm excited that you guys came to this today. Maria, even though you're not coming to the retreat, it's such a pleasure having you. And maybe we'll get the opportunity, to serve you next year. But this is incredible that you showed up, especially on a Saturday on your day off. Because doing these activities, like taking what we're thinking and feeling inside our heart and our mind and translating them onto pen and paper and writing things down is, in my opinion, the first step in manifesting these dreams in our physical reality. And it's really real. You know what I mean? Like, you have to make your desire and your intentions known in order, like, you have to make your prayer known in order for God to answer that. You know what I mean? Source, creator, whatever you align with, it's all coming from this same unlimited source from which we came from. And there's actually been so I grew up in the Christian church, but I no longer believe in organized religion. However, there are aspects, there is wisdom in the Bible that has really, impacted my life. And I think of this one verse that I want us to kind of sit with today. Before we go into these activities, I want this to really set the tone for, like, how big you think with these things. Because I remember that when I did this first activity 4 years ago, someone asked me, if money, if time, if relationships were not an obstacle, what is it that you want in your life? Dream big. And I had a legitimate panic attack because I was like I've never had a panic attack in my life, but I couldn't breathe. I was like freaking out. And it's because it's like I almost didn't believe that I deserved it or was worthy of it or capable of receiving it. And but that is, like, I've been doing this 21 days of abundance challenge. And it's interesting because, like, these challenges each day are like it's all related to abundance, but they're in an inadvertent way. So, like, the one that they're really interesting. They're like removing these blocks. So, like, the other day, it was so interesting. It asked me to write down, um, you know, people that make me feel uncomfortable. And I wrote them all down. And guess what? Like, five of those people reached out to me that day. And I was like, and my response was like, oh, well, I'm just not going to give energy to these people. And then the next day was write down five shortcomings, that I perceive within my life. And it's like these things are just, they're putting these down so that we kind of identify what the blocks are in our life. Once we vocalize them and talk about them, like Steph and I both lead women's circles, and the intentions of those is that we come and share what we're going through. And I think through that process of sharing and vocalizing and writing down these things, it like helps us clear those blocks. So that verse that I want to talk about, it says, now to the one that can do immeasurably more than all that we ask or imagine, to that power that resides within me. So think about that. Source creator can do immeasurably more than anything we can even imagine ourselves or what we ask. And so today, these exercises are really just a way for you to get really clear on your prayer. And what I mean by that is everything that we say, everything we think, everything we do is a prayer. Okay. And the law of attraction states that's a law that's just as real as any law of physics, just as real as the law of gravity, that any thought that we hold long enough inside our head is eventually going to seek physical action. So when you journal about it and you pray about these things and you continue to do so, you're keeping that thought inside your head. And there's this other quote that I'm thinking of that says, words become actions, actions become habits, habits become character, and character breeds destiny. So it really does start with how we think about ourselves and our situations. It starts here with the words that we tell ourselves. So the goal of today is to really just get clear on what it is that we want to manifest in our life. And let me tell you, it works. Okay. I can point back to times when I've done this exercise and been like, that came true, that came true, that came true, you know? And then what I want you to do is, did you guys get the resources? Just making sure. We sent you 3 worksheets. So this is called the Wheel of Life. Now, with all of these exercises, I want to encourage you guys, at least with this first one, to try to be quick. You know what I mean? One word answers, don't get stuck on something for too long and write too much. I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to go through this exercise. But as you can see here, it's our life that's divided into these different categories. So we have lifestyle, self-development, finances, career, things like that. And for each of these things, I want you to go through and I want you to write 3 goals that you have in each category. Now, remember, try to be brief and try to, like just be quick about it. You know what I mean? Don't spend too long on it. And then after this exercise, what we're going to do, I'm just giving you kind of an example of what we're going to be doing. We're then going to go into, give me a sec. I want to read this really quickly. So the advantages of goal setting, it provides direction and purpose. It's like the same thing when you don't have a morning routine in the morning. At least I know for me, I wake up and I feel scattered and I'm like, man, what do I do? You know what I mean? No, I have a routine. I actually woke up this morning and I was out of ginger and lemon and I was like, fuck, this is like how I start my day. What do I do? So this helps give you direction and purpose to help realign you. It encourages self-understanding, getting back with yourself. What do I want? Connecting with myself. Identifies needed changes, improves self-confidence, improves planning, defines priorities, guides decision-making, and increases chances of success. These are all documented, by science. Weight power is the plan to get you there. So what we're going to do, this is the second part of the exercises. We're going to come up with a step-by-step plan to achieve your goal. So this is the path that you're going to take in order to get there. And I think it's a good thing to maybe identify a few different ways in which you could get there. When you find roadblocks along the way, you may not need to change your goals, but just instead change the route in which you get there. Second is your willpower. So this is the motivation and the energy it will take to get you there. So come up with a list of ways to motivate yourself to reach this goal. Write this list down and look at it every day. Focus on the feeling. How will I feel once I've achieved this goal? To accomplish your goal, you will need to stay motivated and get in touch with your emotions associated with this goal so that you can stay on the course. So these are things like remind yourself, like, why am I doing this again? This is so hard. It's like, oh, I want financial freedom. I want to leave that relationship. I want to have more power in my life. You know what I mean? I want to provide a better life for my kids, like whatever it is. And then why power? Know why you want to achieve this goal. Do not lose sight of why you want this so badly. How will it impact your life? How will this accomplishment improve your life? What do you have to lose by not achieving this goal? What is at stake? Oftentimes, I've found that staying where I'm at is comfortable because I know it. But oftentimes, staying within that stagnant place is the exact thing that is causing me so much anxiety and depression. Change is hard, but the human brain is literally evolved to continually learn new things. It will start to deteriorate if we do not continue learning new things. So if there's one thing that we can guarantee in this life is that nothing stays the same. We are constantly in change. And the more that we can adapt to that and accept that flow, the more successful we will be in our lives, So oftentimes I've found that the negative consequences of staying where I'm at is actually way, way more detrimental to me than taking the leap and trying something new and maybe failing a few times, Awesome. So after we do that first wheel of life exercise, we're going to jump into this. It's called a SMART goal worksheet. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So it's good what we're going to do actually is of all of those that we're going to identify within the wheel of life, we're only going to pick one that we really want to work on. Because when we do too many things, some people are incredible multitaskers, i.e. Estefania Valencia, like beautiful woman working on many, many things, But in my life, I've found that I really execute well when I have one or two or maybe 3 things that I'm very focused on. Like I pick just a few things and I go hard, And so what we're actually going to do is just kind of, because when you look at that big map, you're like, oh, there's so much I need to work on. But it's like, no, we're going to pick one. And I want you to sincerely work on it this year. You know what I mean? Steph and I, we're actually after the retreat, we're going to have regular integration circles and women's circles for women to be able to come touch back We're maybe going to be able to do a 6-week program that helps people, with achieving the life of their dreams. But I want you to sincerely, after we go through this exercise today in your journal, I want you to take out that journal entry and I want you to put it on your mirror or somewhere that you see it every day. And I want you to just, all it takes is looking at it. Like, seriously, I'm going to give an example of this, and I promise we'll jump into this exercise. But before I moved to Oregon, I was living in Kansas City, Missouri, and I was reading a book called Think and Grow Rich. It's a very popular manifestation book. And in it has these exercises to write a desire statement, which is pretty much what this SMART goal worksheet is, where you get really specific around what type of job you want, how much you want to make, when you want to get it by, really get as specific as you can about it. So I wrote down this desire statement in March of 2018. And I said, I wanted this job making $70,000 in a beautiful natural area with coworkers that love me, with a flexible work schedule, partly remote, by June 1st of 2018. That was my desire statement. And I kept that on my mirror and I would read it, every morning, every night while I'm like brushing my teeth. And I swear to you guys, I ended up getting the best job I've ever had in my life by June 2nd of 2019 at the exact salary I was asking for in one of the most gorgeous places I've ever lived in my life, with a co-working family, like truly that felt like family. It was like amazing. And I've tested that a few times. Like there's been multiple times where I've journaled about these dreams and I put it somewhere. And like, for example, now what my practice is right here, I have this whiteboard and I will continually write down things that I want to achieve, my intentions. And I can already tell you, like the last one on there I'm like moving out of my house into a different living situation. And I wrote down that I wanted to find a comfortable living situation with people that I trust that feel like family by July of this year. And I am moving in to my new place in July of this year. Like shit works, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to identify one goal. And then I want you to take whatever you write down. And I want you to put it somewhere where you will read it regularly until it manifests. Okay? So let's go ahead and start with the first worksheet, which is the Wheel of Life. So I'm going to keep this up. Can everybody see it well enough? Sorry. Yep. And I want to take 10 minutes. Actually, how are we doing here? Everybody good on time? We're like almost 30 minutes through. I think we'll be fine. I'm going to give you actually 15 minutes to go through this exercise and write down in each of these categories 3 goals and one or two words that you want to accomplish for each category. Okay, go ahead and go. Man, thank you guys so much for your feedback. And I hear you, you know what I mean? Like these can be really overwhelming, but like, just like that Deepak Chopra challenge, like it's good just to like move through that resistance. Like oftentimes, when we're starting a new task and it feels overwhelming, I know sometimes I will avoid it because like I have anxiety about learning new things. I think it's probably from not having the easiest time in school, but, my roommate gave me this advice one time. He was like, all you have to do is just start. You know what I mean? Just start. And like, that's what I encourage you with these tasks is like, even though they feel overwhelming, just start, with the first thing that you're willing to do. And so now we're going to move into the second part of the exercise. You guys are doing great, by the way. Good job, everybody. And today, I want you to, have a fresh page on your journal. Remember that you're going to be taking this out and you're going to be putting it somewhere within your house so that you remember to read it. And I want you to fill out every single box of this. I want you to say today's date. I want you to do the target date. And then I want you to state when you're going to start working on this. And then pick one of those goals that you wrote down. Write that goal at the top. And then we're going to verify that your goal is SMART. So the first one is specific. What exactly do you want to accomplish? Like try to be really detailed. This is when we go a little bit more detailed now. So the first exercise was high level. Now we're getting into the weeds. So what exactly do you want to accomplish? Measurable. How will you know when you haven't reached this goal? Sorry for that typo. Just like see that now. But how will you know? Oh, I will have this result. What are the deliverables at the end? And feel free to ask me questions on these things if you need clarity. Achievable. Is achieving this goal realistic with effort and commitment. Do you have the resources to achieve this goal? And if not, how will you get them? So like I had this person one time that was like kind of struggling to even just pay their rent. And they were talking about how they wanted to live on like a 700-acre farm. And I'm like, that's a good goal. You know what I mean? But like, what's maybe something that's like realistic that you can achieve within this year, you know? And you are incredibly, we come from an unlimited source. You are unlimited. We are the only people that limit ourselves. I'm not saying this to diminish, but like, is achieving this goal really realistic with effort and commitment? Do you have the resources that you need to achieve this goal? And if not, how will you get them? Relevant. Why is this goal significant in your life? Why does it mean so much to you? Why do you need to accomplish this? And then timely. When will you achieve this goal? And I want you to be specific. I want you to say, I want to make $200,000 by December 1st of 2024. You know what I mean? Be specific. You know what I mean? Set an actual date. So I'm going to give us another 15 to 20 minutes to now work through this exercise. And then afterwards, of course, you never have to share if you don't want to, but I'd love to hear what you women put down. I always get very inspired by hearing other people and what their dreams are. So we'll dive into that right now. Great job, guys. Love it. Okay, so sorry in advance, Steph. This one kind of involves you, but so my goal is I want to continue to expand this retreat business. I left my job back in June and have since been trying to start my own business. It's been one of the most difficult financial years of my life, but I've also been the happiest I've ever been in my work life. And so I'm convinced that if I can just stay committed to my passion and what I believe in, that the abundance I'm seeking is on the other side of that. And so one of the main passions of my life right now is women's work, just creating safe circles for women to come and commune with one another. Because I'm really convinced that if the women in our community can come together and heal, that we can heal our entire collective community. So the work that we're doing here actually today is I believe we're doing it on behalf of all of our fellow human beings because we're all connected. So I want to continue to expand the retreat business, and the way that that looks is I would love to throw a destination retreat for New Year's this year. I think that would be a really cool New Year's resolution for people. And I think Costa Rica would be a really fun place to throw it. So, and so I want
I'm
to,
down.
okay, good. I
Totally
was
one of
hoping
my
you'd say that.
goals to travel to Costa Rica is on here as one of my goals. Oh yes.
Hey, all right, Lizette, come on. So I want to continue to expand my retreat business with Estef, and I want to throw a wildly profitable destination retreat in Costa Rica. How I will measure this is I will schedule and fulfill this retreat the first week for the first week of January. Honestly, and is it achievable? Yes, absolutely. Like Steph and I have worked so hard on this women's retreat, and I think that both of us have really shocked ourselves with what we're capable of doing and planning. And us together, like I've never worked with someone that is as diligent and as hardworking and just as good of a community. Like our communication, everything is just so good. I'm like, whoa, we're like a power team. It's amazing. So it's 100% achievable. I think it's totally realistic. I think I will measure that in the way of, well, yeah, we'll just crank it out, and I'm going to get that. I would like to maybe have the venue booked by September. You know what I mean? And then how is this relevant? It's the accumulation of 3 years of dedicated service to women. So I started women's circles here where I live, and initially just started on a whim. I wasn't even really sure what I was doing. And now it's turned into this huge thriving community of women. I started from nothing, and now there's like over 150 like consistent members that are involved, and it's only growing. And it's because the women really need it, like we really need that space. So yeah, it's just the accumulation of the passion of my life. This is like my passion, and I really need to pursue it. Timely, when will I achieve this? I want to throw retreat, but on January 1st through January 7th of 2025. I want to do a target date of January 1, obviously, but I want to start this August 1st. So I'm going to give myself a little break, June and July, because honestly, we fucking deserve it and I need it. My nervous system is so shot. But yeah, so we'll begin picking up doing like absolute full 100% grind June, August 1st. So get ready, Steph.
Sounds like a plan. I'm
Yeah.
about it. Let's get this.
Yeah. So so I took mine out and I'm putting this
Okay.
on my mirror, okay?
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna put this on my computer where I look at it every day. All right. And I think it'd be really fun for us to check back in with each other maybe sometime this fall and see how we're doing. You know what I mean? There's no pressure, but ultimately, I'm really grateful that you ladies attended today. And more than anything else, what I want is your friendship. And even though you're really far from me, Maria, I would love to continue forming friendship. Yeah, and be involved in each other's lives. Same with you, Lizette. I'm not going anywhere. And yeah, and like I've found like that is really good medicine, just sincere friendship. And it's what I need in my life. So I didn't write it down, but like in my relationship section, like one of my goals was to just continue forming strong female relationships, you know, very important to me. So good job, everybody. Give yourself a high five. Woo!
Yeah.
Yay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy
Thank
schedule.
you so much, Kat. This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
good,
thank you,
good.
ladies. I always love to see what the younger girls are up to.
Oh, Maria, mad respect. It is literally like very much so. I have been praying for elders to come into my life to help guide me. You know, women that are older and wiser than myself to help guide me on this life. So it's an absolute honor and a privilege, seriously, to have you here. And
Maria's the
so
best.
thank you
She's
so much.
wonderful.
Seriously, mad respect.
Love
Yes,
you,
awesome.
Maria. Love you, Lisette. Thank
Love
you
you
for
guys.
joining us.
I love you guys big
Great
time. Have
job.
the best rest of your day.
Awesome.